Hello everyone, this is Solomon Glasser here back with another bite-sized review. And today we're going to be talking about another Crab's Treasure. Now this game is pretty good. It takes a heavy inspiration on the Souls-like genre, and it it's a very cute looking game, but do not let the cute art style deceive you. For this game, it does have quite the challenge to it. Now, for me personally, I've played a lot of Souls related games, so it might not be as hard or it might be more difficult for a newcomer, but for me, uh, even then, it's still pretty difficult for me, but I don't have maybe as much trouble with it as someone else might, but definitely is a challenging experience, and today that's what I want to talk about. So, without further ado, let's get started. Another Crab's Treasure is an indie game that cleverly blends elements of exploration and even a touch of the Souls-like genre, all wrapped up in an underwater adventure that's as charming as it is challenging. From the moment you take control of your tiny protagonist, a determined little crab, you're whisked away into a beautifully crafted underwater world. The visuals are stunning with vibrant colors and detailed environments that make each underwater location feel like a living, breathing ecosystem. But what truly sets Another Crab's Treasure apart is its intensive gameplay mechanics. While at first glance it might seem like some simple exploration game, but it quickly reveals its depth with its incorporation of Souls-like elements. As you navigate the crab through various obstacles and puzzles, you'll encounter enemies that require precise timing and strategy to defeat. Each encounter feels like a mini-battle, where one wrong move could mean starting over from the last checkpoint. The Souls-like mechanics extend beyond combat, too. The game features a unique progression system where collecting treasures not only rewards you with valuable loot, but also serves as a form of currency that can be used to upgrade your crab's abilities. So there's these, I guess, umami crystals are called, and they're used to upgrade your shell, right? So there are many different shells in this kind of game, and you can pick out one that best suits your preference. So if you want to, you know, just tank a lot of stuff, you can just use a soda can, stuff like that, and they all have their special moves, and you can upgrade your umami abilities with you can parry, you can block better, all that kind of stuff. And like any Souls game, they have their own version of Souls, which is known as microplastics. Now microplastics are a bit annoying to get, mainly because you kind of get very little amounts from the enemies. So unfortunately, you might have to grind a little bit in order to get the amount of microplastics you'll need to, progress effectively through the story. Now, I haven't had to do any farming just yet, but I'm quickly starting to realize, that I'm going to have to do it eventually. That is one of my complaints regarding this game, but overall, like the leveling up system, it's good. You can upgrade your damage, you can upgrade your defense, or resistance rather. You can upgrade your umami meter, which, just makes your like shells more effective, for example. And you can get like other abilities, like a sort of like an ultimate ability, and they're very good. Some even, you can get some secret ones too that very much help out. Overall, like the abilities are quite good, and the combat is somewhat clunky. I guess a little bit of the movement and gameplay can be a little bit clunky here and there with the dodging, but overall, I do really like the combat system, as well as the blocking system and parrying system and all that. It all works out pretty well in the game, and the storyline is very good. I don't really want to spoil too much, but the story is definitely funny for sure, and I really think it's something that you should experience for yourself. So I will not be talking too much about the story, but you're definitely going to like it. And don't let the cute art style fool you. This game is relatively difficult. Um, As for, the healing and all that, it's relatively the same as like a Dark Souls game. You you know you replenish them every time you go to um, this version's game. Instead of a bonfire, you have what is called a moon snail shell. Well, we're just going to call them moon shells because it's easier. And they're basically the same as a bonfire. You replenish your heals every time you go at one. That's where you can upgrade and, look at your shell collection and see all of the shells that you've discovered. So, yeah. Um, you have your upgrade systems to where you can hold up to more heals or whatever, as well as, holding up to more items, maybe, your usual Souls like related stuff. Uh, Overall, yeah, the the sense of adventure is very present in this game, and I really do like the atmosphere and the world. There's just so much going on, really, especially the area you can see in this gameplay. It might just be me, but I really like the attention to detail and the sort of calm, relaxing feeling it gives you. And the music in this game is, I think, quite good. It's sort of like a lo-fi vibe in some areas, which I really do appreciate a lot. It's quite good. Um, you know, you you can also get, your version of like souls that you can just like use in your inventory to get a select amount, except you have to sell them in this game. And you can even get like outfits, for example. And there's some pretty funny ones, like, they have a Mr. Krabs outfit, they have an outfit from Cult of the Lamb. They have a lot of references in this game that I think you guys will find funny. And even, some of the conversations with some of the characters, there's a lot of adult jokes. I've at least encountered like 3 or 4 at this point, and I might have even missed some, which I think are actually quite funny. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy that aspect as well. Um, Really, this game is very good. Some of the enemies, I will say, can be a little too hard hitting. I feel like it can come off as quite annoying because, I mean, I know it's a Souls game. I've played, all the Dark Souls games before, for example, but they come off as very hard hitting, and it can come off as quite frustrating, especially, really early on in the game. The dodging system is, quite simple, but the enemies are very hard hitting, which, like I said, can be quite frustrating at times. But overall, it doesn't really take away from the entire experience. And I will say that some of the umami abilities for your shells, I don't even really use because they're just not that good. Especially like the whole skill tree sort of system that they have going for which is separate to your attribute levels, but your skill tree. It's a lot of the abilities aren't really that great, and you're probably just going to be focusing on your attributes. But overall, it's a solid game, and I have not completed it, but I know enough about it to, I'd say, make a solid review on this. So overall, I'd say this game is really good, and the implementation with the shells and all that, and all their different abilities, I think is quite interesting and a unique take on the Souls-like genre. And one more thing I'd like to add is they do have an easy mode, which is not usual for a Souls game, but me personally, I never really use that stuff in a Souls game because I've just been conditioned. But if you guys are into that, therefore, go for it, use it. But overall, that about wraps up this bite-sized review, and I hope all of you enjoyed this. Make sure you leave a like if you liked it, and make sure you leave a dislike if you disliked it. Leave a comment down below if you want to see me review anything specific, or you have any complaints about my review and how I can improve it. I'm always willing to hear, you know, feedback on how I can, improve, and criticism. I don't mind any of that. So this about wraps up this review. This is Sullivan Glasser signing out. I hope all of you ladies and gentlemen have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.